Kapow! Beer Squad! Hi, buddy.
Hey, man.
What's happening?
Hey, shit.
Tight.
Yeah, you know. Just out here
You got
rocking
your bird
my
shirt
longest
on.
hair ever while you're out here rocking your shortest hair ever.
I don't know about ever, but it's shorter than it once used to be.
Bro, quarantine cut game strong, bro.
Thank you.
You looking
Thank
dapper
you.
as a Dapper Dan model on the can, man.
Nailed it.
Said it. I said it, and I don't regret it. I meant what I said.
I'm getting dicked on this one.
And we are. By virtue
yeah.
of the theme, we are.
Oh, I just punched my microphone. That's
Well.
not a good start. Right in that shit.
Welcome to Podcast Broadcasting 101 with Spencer and Ryan. We'll teach you how
Get drunk and punch your mic.
We'll teach you how to get drunk, yell into your microphone until it peaks, and knock things around. It's gonna sound great.
So the first thing you want to do, buy a cheap mic because you never know when you might punch it.
No. Except in yours and my cases, let's have actually pretty decent expensive mics and also punch those.
Still punch
around.
them. Still give them a good whack just to make sure they're tough.
Yeah, you're an expensive microphone. We gon' see.
Fucking prove it.
Prove it. You go hold up. Yeah, I bet.
Wait. Slow down, bro. You already got your brew open?
Oh, bro.
My goodness.
Listen,
Oh, my
I needed
goodness.
a shower
What are
beer,
we doing
man,
here?
and I had to get it started.
What are we doing?
I had to get
All
it
right,
started.
well,
I needed a shower beer. Listen.
We may as well lead with it then, I guess.
Well-
Here goes my whole outline for the show I had planned.
No. We've got time. I've only taken one sip.
All right.
Tell me your joy, bruv. What's your joyfulness?
Oh, sure.
What is bringing you up this week as the world does its goddamnedest to bring us down?
I've got a very specific one this week.
I'd love to hear it.
So as you may know, I am a big fan of Adventure Time.
I
the
do
animated
know.
television series.
I do know it's been required / recommended viewing for many years, and I have never done it.
Yep. And you've yet to listen to me.
I
but
have
it's okay.
yet to listen to you.
So there's the show ended last year, 2 years ago, maybe,
It did.
but they are bringing it back in limited fashion with 4 specials on HBO Max. So
When you say specials, is it just like episodes?
they're like twice as long as normal episodes.
Oh, okay.
So it's 4 45-minute episodes that are not like sequential. They're just sort of standalone things.
That sounds promising for fans.
Yeah. So I started my my HBO Max trial the other day. Found out that only one of those is actually available right now on HBO Max. Watched it, and I was like, well, there's a bunch of other shit on here I should probably watch.
What'd you find?
Including
What'd you
all
find?
the Studio Ghibli films, which I think is also something I've recommended that you've never watched.
Is that like
Neither here nor there.
Like Spirited Away and shit?
Yeah. Written and directed by Miyazaki and produced by or animated by Studio Ghibli.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, and everyone's gonna yell at me in the Facebook group, and that's fine. All right. I have tried to watch Spirited Away multiple times, and I have fallen asleep every time.
Well, watch it during the daytime.
Well, I think one day it was. I think it was like a Saturday afternoon, and I still fell asleep during it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, you're allowed to have bad taste.
No. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm acknowledging that I've tried. I just haven't made it through.
Sure. Anyway, so there are a bunch of them I've never seen, including what is, I think, the consensus second best Studio Ghibli film, Totoro, or My Neighbor Totoro.
Is Spirited Away supposed to be the best one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's the highest rated on IMDb and shit. I think there's debate, but like, yeah.
IMDb don't know shit about movies.
I mean, okay. That movie database doesn't know anything about movies.
Well,
it's just a dumb database.
Recently, it went viral. That was like the 50 most rated movies of all time on IMDb, and it was a bunch of like very broy action movies.
Most rated?
Huh?
Most rated, as in have received the most ratings, or highest rated?
Most rated.
Oh, well, that doesn't really mean anything then. That just means movies people have watched the most.
Well, it might have been highest rated, though, actually, now that I think about it. I can't remember. It was one of the two.
Because I would expect the most watched movies to be like blockbuster action films. That makes sense.
Anyway,
none of this
matters.
None of this matters except that Ryan has bad taste. But
hey, I haven't watched them. I have nothing against them. Don't be a dick.
You just led with, I just can't stay awake during them.
That's not my fault. That's the movie's fault.
Exactly.
Keep me up.
Anyway, so I watched Totoro. It's adorable. It's great. And I'm watching the end credits, and credited with additional voices, because this is the American version, obviously.
Yeah.
Is Robert Clotworthy, aka the voice of Ancient Aliens.
Whoa.
But it doesn't say, so that made me super happy. But then I was like, wait, what voice is he? Because it's just credited with additional voices.
Which is kind of awesome in its own right. Do you think this guy has a cameo?
Well, it's an old movie, though, so it would have been.
Oh, my God, he's got a cameo, bro.
Oh, you meant like yes, that thing.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, bro.
How much? Patreon.com/whatifpodcast. If you want Robert Clotworthy to do our new intro forever.
You are guessing how much it cost. Oh, my God, bro. You are guessing how much it costs to have Robert Clotworthy read something on to us.
So I've never done or like looked at the details of Cameo. Is it they'll read anything? Is there like a character limit or a time limit or
let me look really quick.
it's just like a short, like they send you a short video of themselves saying what you want, right?
Yeah, that's the premise.
So we're talking like a couple sentences or something, like under a minute, probably.
There does not appear, I'm not logged in right now, so maybe there's more detail once you're logged in, but they don't appear to have like a time limit.
Okay.
Like
I'm gonna say $125.
Well, the good news is we can get 4 Robert Clotworthy cameos for the price that you just named, my friend, because a cameo from Robert Clotworthy
it's $31.25
costs us $30.
Damn.
So,
well,
if
you need to
want
make a Cameo account right now.
You're about to?
One of us needs to.
What is like anybody's going to pay us to say shit via Cameo?
No. I'm saying so we can order 4 of them right now.
Oh, you're trying to buy something from Robert Clotworthy.
Yeah. Not for us.
See.
We already do that on our own show.
That's
$50.
True. That is true. It says, narrator of Ancient Aliens and the Curse of Oak Island, voice of Charlie in Charlie's Angels? Did not know that. And Jim Raynor in StarCraft and StarCraft 2.
Sure.
Bro, he also does these from what appears to be a home vocal booth, which of course he has a home vocal booth since this is probably a significant portion of his work.
That's, I think, like all he does now.
Bro. Responds in 14 hours, my dude. We could have this tomorrow.
All right. Bet.
I'm so hyped right now.
Should we do it right now and then make this episode a day late and add his new intro to the show?
Robert Clotworthy's voice to the whole thing? Oh my God. Amazing.
So anyway, mine was finding out that the voice of Ancient Aliens voices some character, unnamed character in My Neighbor Totoro.
And it all comes full circle, you know?
Yep.
It really does.
Yep.
All right, this time we're really doing it though, because we've talked about getting some from professional wrestlers. which I
No,
still
this
think we
is
should
way
do,
better.
but this one is more on brand for us.
It's the right price point. The other ones have been like $200 for like, I don't know, Rey Mysterio Jr. to say something. No thanks. $30 for Robert Clotworthy to give us an Ancient Aliens ass intro.
It's so inexpensive you can't afford not to buy it.
All right, what do you got?
Man, I am on a new kick, bro.
Okay.
Because I got a working leg back and a working bike back, and I have biked almost 40 miles in the last 3 days, and I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Sick.
Fucking.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go today?
Today I went actually just sort of like through Southside, like down the river and then over and like up Minnehaha and then back over, and then I did a couple loops and put about 10 miles in, man. It felt great.
Sick.
Felt good. Feels good to
New
move.
bike is holding up.
What's that?
New bike is holding up.
New bike's holding up, all fixed. New legs
You're
holding
staying
up.
upright.
New legs holding up, all fixed.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, no, it's you know, I feel like in these times where you're kind of forced to look at the same four walls all day long, it's never been more important to get your ass out of those four walls. And now that I'm staring down the barrel,
we're all gonna go completely insane once it's winter. But
I was literally just about to say,
now,
you know, it's hit me that summer is somehow over, and it didn't even happen. So I don't know how it's over, but it didn't happen. And so all the more important, I think it is to get out while we can, bud. Also, I'm buying one of those. You remember? You ever see A Christmas Story?
no.
Okay.
Good thing
like,
we are not a movie podcast.
What's that?
Good thing we're not a movie podcast.
Right, because
we ain't seen shit.
We ain't seen shit. Do you
That
like
would be the
Christmas
name of our
movies? Do
movie
you ever watch any
podcast.
Christmas? We ain't seen shit. That actually would be really funny. I like that.
Have I ever seen what now?
What do you like Christmas movies? Do you have any like favorite Christmas movies like around the season?
Sure. Yeah. You gotta watch Elf.
Gotta.
I usually break out Home Alone. Big Home Alone guy.
I love Home Alone. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
A little Christmas Vacation in there every once in a while.
Not a fan.
Okay. Well, anyway, if you like those like classic style Christmas movies, you should see A Christmas Story. But there's like a whole joke scene that the narrator's younger brother in it, the way that like the mom dresses him up is in this like full body snowmobile style suit with like onesie with like the zipper up the chest. A lot of us had them when we were kids in Minnesota. And then like it's got a hood pulled over, and then she wraps him up until like, oh, you got his eyeballs on this little kid.
Yeah.
And all I can think is I haven't had one of those since I was 10, but I think I'm going to have to go to like Fleet Farm or like some kind of store and get one for this winter so that I can just hang out outside with people and be like, I don't even give a shit. It's 74 degrees in here in my snowmobile suit. I'm inside, so I don't even care.
Have you ever, are you familiar with I think it's Polar. Yeah, their wearable sleeping bag that they call the knapsack.
I'm fairly certain that's just a fucking Snuggie, right?
Yeah, except it's a sleeping bag and it's got like a hood, and it has on the sides, you can zip your arms out of it if you want, or you can zip your arms inside.
Does it go under your feet, or is it open like a dress?
It's open like a dress.
Tight. So what you're saying is I'm going to buy a winter dress this year.
Yeah, exactly. And Ryan, they make them in camo just for you.
Oh, a camouflage winter dress? Sign your boy up, dude.
You guys need to Google this if you're listening to us. Ryan, I'm going to send you an amazing photo.
Is it of my new camouflage winter dress?
Ass. I can't. Copy image address. That's the one. Give that a look. It's just a dude looking very sad wearing a camouflage fucking
it's
sleeping bag.
It's teeny. I gotta make it bigger.
Oh, hold on. Did you get it?
I got an idea of it. It's the small cropped version.
Hold on. I may have sent you the thumbnail.
I think you sent me a thumbnail.
Ryan, while you're looking at that, one of our friends.
My guy is staring off into the distance and thinking about his choices.
He's contemplating what his modeling career ended up being.
Why am I?
And how he got to that point.
Where am I?
And if he can.
How did I get here?
What is the soonest I can fire my agent?
Oh my God. Bro, they look fucking sick. I want one.
A friend of ours / maybe the most frequent guest of the podcast owns one.
Are you avoiding names or?
No, I was seeing if you could guess which one of our friends owns that.
It's either Mason or...
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Nailed it. Sounds about right.
Shout out to Eric Mason, by the way, becoming a real-ass pilot today.
Bro, I literally had the thought today that A, we needed to congratulate him on the show, and B, we needed to request that he fly us to shows because we could do shows.
Yeah.
We could do shows in places that we could not normally do shows because we could just have Eric Mason fly us there.
So here's an idea.
Y'all, we're not fucking around. Eric Mason is a real pilot, like a certified private pilot, y'all.
Patreon.com/whatifpodcast so we can buy a plane. But as soon as
painted orange,
as soon as we can do things again, Mason is flying us to Memphis to do a show at the Pyramid Bass Pro Shops, right? Like
slow clap.
You're too loud for me to hear you again, but I'm assuming that you approve of this idea.
I just slow clapped far away from the microphone and
sometimes Ryan yells so loudly that Zoom cuts out. And by sometimes, I mean about 50% of the time he says something.
Zoom, unfortunately, thinks that the volume of my voice is a mistake. But the reality is, it is very intentional.
Oh, boy. All right.
Yo, A, that's a really good idea. But B, what's going to need to happen is I'm going to need all of the Xanax that I can possibly cram into my system.
Yeah, you don't like flying, huh?
I don't like flying, and I don't like flying in small airplanes. And so I will need to re-up on my prescription and have
Or we're going to need a lot more money on Patreon so we can buy a bigger plane.
A much bigger plane. Yeah, no, if we take a puddle jumper to Memphis, Uncle Ryan's going to need to go night-night for the whole trip and then wake up at the Pyramid ready to ride.
We could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
All right,
Ryan, we have a very special sponsor for this episode.
Oh, dip.
And that is Flying Machine Brewing Company.
Yeah, bro, I think we also have like is this a segment? I think we have a segment. We have not done many segments on the show.
We have an episode, a segment of Is It Trash?
Oh, sure.
Which we haven't done in a long time.
That's a good point. I guess we could lump into that to that segment.
So a couple weeks ago, maybe it was longer, I don't know. We were trying to figure out a Mountain Dew sponsorship. Spoiler, it didn't work. But
we didn't even apply, but
our new friend, it didn't work out because we didn't try. We quit before we started. But our friend Carl at Flying Machine Brewing Company sent us some beers because he claims they're better than Mountain Dew. Now, I'm not sure I believe him. So we've got 2 Flying Machine Brewing beers lined up, and we have Mountain Dew Code Red lined up. Ryan, do you have all these things ready?
Well, so I have one beer, but I left
the other one in the fridge. Did you drink your
Mountain
Dew? If you drank your Mountain Dew, I swear to God.
No.
Okay.
Don't you worry, baby.
Oh, okay.
I got my precious red missile right here. Don't you even trip.
Wait, you said you only got one beer though?
Well, my other beer's in the fridge because I didn't want it to sit, but I can go get it. Do you want me to go get it while you explain the rest of the rules to people?
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
Do it.
Okay. I don't know what rules he's talking about. We're going to drink one beer and then we're going to drink Mountain Dew Code Red. And then we're going to tell you A, is it trash? And then B, is it better than Code Red Mountain Dew? So we have, I think we're going to start with the Plain Arms Lager Beer, as in PLANE Arms. The logo is incredible. It looks like Chuck Tingle designed the logo because it is just an airplane that instead of wings has arms with giant biceps that it's flexing.
And also it's got this like delightfully sort of retro aesthetic to it to complement this sentient airplane.
This handsome, sentient, bisexual jet plane?
Yes. And I think the aesthetic is delightful. And it is an ultra premium American lager, 5.4%.
All right.
Bottoms up, bud. Here's to our lager beer.
I don't normally drink that sloppily. I just wanted you guys to know that was the point where we were drinking.
Drinking is happening.
Because otherwise it would have been silence.
This episode did not end.
That's pretty damn good.
It's a delicious beer. I'm not gonna front.
I'm a big lager guy. That's kind of my go-to. That's a good ass lager.
It's a good ass lager. It's got more meat to it than most lagers do. You know, there's a lot going on there. It's a little heftier.
By meat, do you mean like flavor?
It's just got more heft to it. I think a lot of lagers are just like kind of light.
It's a hefty beer.
You know, like a lot of lagers are just like they're throwaways. You take a sip and it's basically no flavor and it just disappears. And this one's like all kinds of. It's like malty and like nutty, but it's also like pretty easy drinking. It's a good beer. Look, if you make shitty beer and you send us shitty beer, we're going to tell you your beer is shitty. We're for sure going to do that. This is just not shitty beer. It's really good beer. And I would tell you if your beer was not great, but it's good. It's really good.
All right. Now we got to crack open the Code Red for comparison.
Can I ask you a question? Why did we put Code Red in the middle? I feel like we should have gotten Code Red out of the way.
Well, no. He said that the beer is better than Mountain Dew, so we got to compare each of them.
You're right. Like we got to do that.
Is the Plain Arms Lager better than Code Red? And then is this other one that he sent us better than Code Red?
Okay, so before we take a sip of Mountain Dew, though, I need to say a couple things about Mountain Dew. One,
you can't stop me. I'm drinking some right now.
Okay, fine. One, Mountain Dew has caffeine in it, and I have not had a caffeinated soda since I dropped coffee.
Oh shit. I forgot about that. I should have gotten you some caffeine-free Dew.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm going to do it because I have reintroduced caffeine into my life via all kinds of teas. So it's not like caffeine is going to like fuck my heart up and I'm going to like be like, oh shit, I'm jacked up and I don't know why. I'm also for sure
the rest
not
of the
drinking.
episode is going to be like listening on 1.5 speed.
Yeah, dude. I'm also for sure not drinking this entire Mountain Dew Code Red. Because
no.
Have you seen the fucking nutrition facts on this motherfucker?
Well, right up front it says 280 calories, which just seems impossible. That shouldn't be.
It's a 300.
What sort of science allowed them to get 300 calories into a 20-ounce bottle?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. If you look at the carbs, the amount of sugar in it is 76 grams of sugar in one bottle, which is 152% of your recommended daily value of added sugar.
Why? You're not supposed to, like, you don't need any sugar. Why is there a daily recommended value?
I think there's an amount.
Is that like the limit?
There's an amount of natural sugar versus an amount of added sugar that you are like able to consume in a day.
So that's saying you're not supposed to have more than that rather than like, this is how much you should have on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
No, I
understand that. I understand the differentiation you're making. Yes, I think that's correct. I think it's saying you are allotted a certain amount of added sugars in your diet on a daily basis, and this single bottle is 152% of that allotment.
That seems right after taking a sip, honestly.
What they're saying is share this with a friend, or it's gonna hurt you.
Or five.
Or honestly, all right, here we go. Dude, this takes me to fucking Halo and Xbox in like basement sleepovers in like fucking middle school, bro.
This was supposed to be Baja Blast.
Oh.
Don't just take a sip. It's not good.
It smells like grenadine.
It could be worse. That was a big sip.
I mean, go big or go home, boy.
I tried to find Baja Blast, and I went to a Target specifically that said they had Baja Blast, and they lied to me, and this was the best we could do.
Bro, I feel like There's something in my mouth, dude.
Well, yes.
But like it's still in my mouth after I swallowed. It's like,
okay, so
yeah, I feel like somebody put cherry like maple syrup in a bottle and I just like swigged it.
So I'm for the Plain Arms Handsome Sentient Jet Plane beer. I'm gonna give it a
Good job.
Oh, you went for another sip. That
I took
seems like the wrong
I took
move.
like an angry sip. I took like I gotta understand that better sip of the Mountain Dew Code Red.
And for Code Red, I'm going
Big trash.
Oh,
You agree? Beer
Bro.
good, Mountain Dew bad.
I'm like kind of offended
Stop
personally
drinking
that this
it.
is real.
What?
Jesus, I remember Baja Blast being kind of good, but if it's this sweet, I'm like, I mean, I haven't had a soda in a
of
long
course it
time, so
is.
this is probably like,
It absolutely is.
why do people drink this shit? This is people drink this shit like every day.
Ryan, I don't know if you've noticed, Americans are fucking.
Big trash.
We are dumb.
Bro.
We don't care about stuff that we should care about. We do care about stuff that we shouldn't care about.
I'm thinking about.
I'm in danger.
Bro, I'm having a memory right now of the fact that I went to high school with a dude who literally
Probably
brought.
several.
What's that?
There's only one dude in your school?
Many dudes, but this specific dude brought a 2-liter of Mountain Dew to school every day.
Was he like selling shots out of it?
No, he drank that shit.
Oh.
This was
so
like-
he's no longer with us.
This was like dude's personal like make it through the day beverage.
Just gonna send it.
That I feel like that is so corrosive. Like you just don't have insides anymore. You're
You
a
got no
hollow.
guts, bruv.
You are an empty eggshell of a human being because the Mountain Dew ate your body. All right.
Dang, that's just science.
All right. I need to
right.
sip something else to get that out of my mouth. So can we
So-
I
you
agree,
grab
by the
this
way.
one?
Good job is the correct answer to to Plain Arms. And hey, hit the what the fuck, my guy, about Mountain Dew Code Red.
What the fuck, my guy?
Yeah, that is my entire body's reaction to taking 2 sips of Mountain Dew Code Red. For sure.
All right. Do you have this teal turquoise joint lined up next?
Honestly,
Is that the
the
one you grabbed?
aesthetics are hot, Carl. I don't know who's doing your aesthetics.
The aesthetics are hot, Carl. What'd you just say?
Carl is the homie. I did say hot Carl, but I was telling Carl that the aesthetics are hot.
Got it.
They've
so
done a
we
great
have
job
here
with these beers.
We have I don't think he designed them. Maybe he did. I don't know.
He's got input.
We've got the Plethora American Sour Ale with mango, blueberry, passion fruit, and tangerine.
What's your general vibe on sours? Are you a sour guy? Do you drink sours?
Yes. Generally, yes. Sometimes they're a little too intense for me.
Okay.
I got really into the rosé beers for a while there, which I feel are like sort of a sour derivative.
Sour adjacent, if you will.
So it depends. Sometimes they're too much for me. Sometimes they're great. We shall
Sure.
see. Oh, smells delicious.
Oh, see, you were down. You know the deal. You got to smell it.
Okay.
Okay. Hit him with the button. Hit him with the button. Hit him with the
Well,
button.
I don't want to influence you. So
Oh,
you gotta take a sip first.
Ooh, it's a pretty color.
Who are you?
Wow, that's delicious.
Yeah.
So you know what I like?
Motherfucker.
You know what I like about this? It's like I feel like a lot of sours are like we're gonna make you like warhead pucker up and like make it taste like
That's why I don't like them sometimes.
rotten
It's too
vinegar.
intense.
Yeah, like it's like rotten vinegar.
I don't
And
want
this one is
kombucha.
Yeah, and this one is much more like it's like a tart fruity sour, not like a like punch you in the stomach and make you kind of want to throw up sour. It's like a very delicious flavor sour. I think it's very good, bro.
Get that Mountain Dew back.
Oh, God damn it. I don't even, I remember, bro. I remember.
I don't know why you took 2 sips before. You knew you were going to have to take another one.
I remember, bro. I know. But
right,
it's very clear in my mind what this experience was.
Wow. So, whew.
I'm sorry.
So, like, I took a sip of the sour beer and I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet, actually. And then I sat down and I took a sip of the Code Red, and it's easily 11 times sweeter.
It's like
it hits you in like waves. Like the first sip, you kind of get the cherry flavor and it's okay, and then you just get like doused in sugar.
Dude, I remember. I used to work in restaurants.
Yeah, I gotta physically move this away from me.
Oh, dude, I just did it again, man.
It just it just is a bottle of grenadine. It's just barely.
Yes, they literally carbonated grenadine and started selling it.
If it were any thicker, you wouldn't be able to drink it. It wouldn't be liquid.
I was just gonna say it reminds me of when I worked in restaurants. Sometimes the CO2 would run out, like the CO2 water.
Yeah,
and
this is just pure syrup.
And it's like you would take a sip of whatever it was, like you were drinking, because we would just drink sodas to stay caffeinated through our entire shift. So we drink whatever, Diet Coke or Coke or whatever. And like at a certain point, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm getting mostly syrup. There's either a clog in the line, or we got to go change the CO2." This tastes exactly like it is. It tastes like a mistake, is what it tastes like, and that to me is so outrageous that they sell this to people and they allow this to happen.
Well, Carl, you are correct.
Carl, you nailed it, bud.
Significantly better than Mountain Dew.
It's
delicious.
It's significantly better than Mountain Dew. It's better than. I mean, look. Here's the thing: to be better than Mountain Dew, your beer wouldn't have had to have been great. Because holy shit, that Mountain Dew experience was horrifying.
The bar was very low, low bar.
But also, your beer's very good. So we'll say that. Thanks to Carl and Flying Machine Brewing Company for making us go through this awful taste test. But we got some fucking great beer out of it. So here to y'all.
And if any of you guys are ever in Wilmington, North Carolina or close by, go grab a beer or 10.
Yeah, when it's safe to do so. Otherwise, buy it in your local liquor stores around there.
All right, Ryan, we have to read an actual ad. And then I have one of the more fun episodes I think we've planned.
BetterHelp. Let's tell the people about BetterHelp. It is
you
time
guys
for
are really missing
BetterHelp.
out on the choreography that's going along with this.
They didn't pay for the choreography, bro. But I gave them the choreography free.
That's extra. If there's something that interferes with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals, BetterHelp can assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating with them in under 24 hours.
Heck yeah.
And it's not self-help, it's professional counseling, and you can send a message to your counselor at any time and get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, all without ever having to leave your house.
Convenient as heck.
So if you are struggling with depression, stress, anxiety, sleep issues, anger issues, grief, self-esteem, or a whole bunch of other things, go to betterhelp.com/whatif. And as a listener, you can get 10% off your first month.
Do it. Go there. Do that. BetterHelp.com.
Dynamite dropping, but
BetterHelp.com/whatif. 2020. We're all going to therapy. Do that.
Yeah, motherfucker.
You won't regret therapy. I didn't regret therapy.
none of us will regret it.
None of us will regret therapy. See, this is what happens. Right. I have so much high fructose corn syrup in my face right now that it's affecting my muscles' ability to function. I can't
It's totally
talk.
not multiple 16-ounce cans of beer. It's the 3 sips of Mountain Dew.
Dude, I feel like but literally I feel like my mouth is glued together with high fructose corn syrup right now. Like it's like a coating in my whole face.
Get some beer in there. Lube up, bro.
I need to clear it.
All right. Ryan, in honor of the NBA playoffs starting yesterday,
Oh, you love to see it. God bless the bubble.
I have a sports-based conspiracy for us today.
Oh, you love to hear it.
And it
you
goes something
absolutely
like this.
do.
Goes something like this. In the 2017 Eastern Conference semifinals between the Washington Wizards and the Boston Celtics,
I was just going to say, I'm going to need a refresh because I can't even get there.
was Markieff Morris, after being injured, replaced by his identical twin brother, Markieff Morris, for the second game of the series.
Oh, what? What?
So in game one, Markieff Morris goes up for a jump shot, comes down, lands on Al Horford's foot, and rolls his ankle. Leaves the game, doesn't come back into the game. The next night, or 2 nights later, in game 2, he plays, and he plays the entire game, and he shows zero signs of having sprained his ankle 2 games prior. Doesn't even have it wrapped, doesn't have a brace on it, nothing. Plays the whole game, 16 points, 6 boards, handful of assists. Markieff Morris has a identical twin brother named Marcus Morris.
Mm-hmm.
They are obviously the same age. They are both listed at 6'8". Markieff is listed at 245 pounds. Marcus Morris is listed at 235 pounds. So they're same size, basically, same age, look identical.
Well, and also worth clarifying for those that don't know, they are also both professional NBA players.
Oh, yes, sorry. Marcus Morris also plays in the NBA.
Yes.
And at the time was playing for Detroit, who was not in the playoffs at the time.
Yep.
So his identical twin brother, who's also a professional basketball player, had nothing to do that week. His season had ended a couple weeks prior.
Right. And was potentially riding with his NBA family through the process of the NBA playoffs, I would think.
Wait, huh?
Well, say
that again.
Like I said, potentially riding through the process of the NBA playoffs with his NBA family. Like, I don't know
I don't know what you mean by riding through the process.
Like if you were in the NBA playoffs and I was an NBA player, I would be like hanging out with you and like in the same cities you're in and like going to your games and like.
So yes, Markieff and Marcus are, even for identical twins, unusually close. They have identical tattoos.
Really? Do
over
they
their
really?
entire body?
No
over their
way.
entire body, like chest, full arms, everything identical. They have, I think, one that's different, but it's on their chest, so it wouldn't have been visible.
Right, because it's under the jersey.
They live together. They share a bank account. They have one bank account between the two of them.
No, they don't.
They drive the exact same make, model, and color of car.
What?
And in an interview, their mom said that if they were to get married in the future, their wives would have to be okay with living together.
Because they're just like, we're not going anywhere.
Right.
So they're like one person, but 2 people.
Yes. In 2014, they both signed with the Phoenix Suns because they wanted to play together. And they negotiated a single dollar amount for the 2 of them to play for the Suns. So they negotiated $52 million for the Morris twins, and then they got to decide how to split it up.
That's fucking fabulous, and I did not know that was true.
So they got $52 million. They ended up splitting it 32 to Markieff, 20 to Marcus. This was possible because they have the same agent. So the agent was just negotiating for both of them.
Bro, what does it matter if the money's going in the same bank account anyway? What the fuck?
And that's what they said. That's what they said. Like, it looked better, I guess, on paper because Markieff had like had a better season, right? So to like not tank his value going forward, they gave him $32 million, but they were like, we don't care. It's literally going to the same place.
Hey, so we're going to take this bag of money and we're going to split it into 2 bags of money, and then we're going to put it back into 1 bag of money. Like, this is the logic
that's what
of
our
this
agent
process.
wants us to do.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Bro.
The best part about that is they signed in September of 2014 with the Suns. Marcus, who has not had as good of a career as Markieff, got traded in July of 2015. So they signed both them. They basically the Suns wanted Markieff Morris. He was better at the time.
Yup.
They signed both of them because Markieff said, well, I'm only playing wherever my brother plays. So they negotiated $52 million for both of them, which was like about market value just for Markieff, and then traded Marcus's ass like 6 months later.
Bro, I'm a big fan though of just being like, hey, look, I don't go anywhere without the bro, so you can cut that bag for me and you can cut that bag for him. Or
so the identical tattoos thing is fucking weird. In an interview, Markieff once said, in a 2013 interview, he said, quote, the question was something about like, could you guys, replace each other on a basketball court or something like that?
Sure.
And Markieff said, quote, we did it before in AAU ball. We switched jerseys on the bench real quick. He had hurt his ankle, but I had fouled out. I gave him a little limp on my way back in like I was hurt and just kept playing.
Wow.
So they were on the same AAU team. Markieff had fouled out, so he couldn't go back in the game. Marcus gets hurt, and then they swap jerseys on the bench, and 5 minutes later, Markieff comes in limping like he's Marcus but playing through a sprained ankle.
Wow. And that happened in AAU ball.
Yes.
So, okay, just to poke a hole or like try to poke a couple holes.
Yeah, for sure.
There is definitely like a more thorough like play calling offensive and defensive system thing going on in the NBA that like at the age of, 28 after many years with a team and like certain players, I think would be a lot harder to fake than like just like hooping on the same AAU team. But
especially in the second round of the playoffs, like that's pretty serious basketball.
Right. Like your coach is going to be like, hey, run blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have to like not look like a complete jagoff in the process of running that play.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody who understands whatever defensive schemes the Wizards were running in 2017 could be like, yeah, he's obviously played with these guys before.
Yeah.
And like understands what they're running.
Or, I mean, I guess to go back the other direction, like, if these guys share fucking everything together, like, are they watching all of each other's games? And he's like, yeah, like I get their system. I know how they play. I know how we play. Like I get what he does when he does what he does. I watch all his footage. Like maybe you could kind of replicate it.
And I don't know enough about like what schemes are being run in the NBA. Like, is every team really running something unique, or is it like we run this system and 8 teams do this and 10 teams do this variation of it, and like there are only 3 or 4 options, or is it really there are like 30 different options?
Right. And you could like roughly plug in like if you needed to plug in to another team, you could kind of like at a minimum catch the wave.
Yeah. Or is it possible that like the Wizards and the Pistons were running fairly similar defensive schemes at the time? Right. I didn't watch either of those teams in 2017. And if I had, I probably wouldn't have been able to pick up on it anyway.
Right. But it is something to your point about like somebody who was definitely educated in the defensive schemes of those teams, or just like generally the Eastern Conference, might be able to go, yeah, they were running something close enough or whatever.
Yeah. To your point, So the Ringer in 2017, who actually wrote this? This is written by Roger Sherman. Wrote an article called "Did Markieff Morris sub in for his twin brother Markieff?"
So this is like a thing.
And I mean, it got a little bit of traction 3 years ago. You know, that's the kind of cutting edge content we bring you here on What If Podcasts. Dumb sports conspiracies from 3 years ago.
But here's the thing is sometimes they take time to get vetted out and go like, why is that conspiracy still lasting? That's interesting.
So in support of it, they bring up a lot of the stuff we've already talked about. They're very similar. They went to the same college. They signed together in Phoenix. They have a shared bank account. They live together, blah, 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 blah.
I can't get over the bank account, dude.
I mean, when you have that much money, though, like, also, I'm sure they're probably talking like one checking account or something, right? It's not like you fully share finances, probably. It's like we have this checking account that is like our day-to-day spending account, is what I would guess.
I guess, but what's the point? Like,
no, there's no reason for it.
Yeah,
they're
that's
fucking
what I mean.
weirdos.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like it's just totally unnecessary.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the Ringer brings up Roger Sherman in this Ringer article. Yes.
I'm sorry. I was just like, hey, bro, I just wanted to check in with you really quick today. I was going to get groceries, and there's a line item in here for $275,000 at the Lamborghini dealership. I just want to check really quick. My car got declined buying broccoli, and I just wanted to see what the fuck you're doing with our money.
I'm sorry. Why you?
If you though like live together and share your lives that fully, maybe it does make some things easier to be like, we're not paying each other back for like utilities and groceries and shit. Like it's just coming out of this one shared account for that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like at a certain point, you don't really care if somebody buys a fucking Lamborghini out of the checking account because you've got fucking $20 million sitting in there.
Well, I mean, it's like it's the same. You know, my wife and I have shared finances, and like we don't run every single purchase past each other, and we don't have $100 million between the two of us. You know, like we're on a much tighter budget than the Morris twins, and we'd figure it out.
Right.
Anyway,
do you, boo boo?
This Roger Sherman article brings up points and counterpoints, basically, to like in support of or against this.
I love it. Give it to me. I want to knock him up or knock him up or knock him down.
So point one is they admit to having done this before, which we discussed, the AAU game where they say like, yes, we did exactly this, but in 2013. Or in 2013, he said we did exactly this.
Yeah.
Counterpoint.
Wait, 2013?
No, sorry. In a 2013 interview, he said we did this in AAU.
Oh, I was like, that timing for AAU can't be right. When did they do this? Okay,
no.
Got it.
They were both in the NBA in 2013.
Got it.
Counterpoint. People say they can tell them apart. People who know the Morrises claim they can identify them. Andy Joseph, who attended Kansas with the Morrises and covered them with Arizona Republic, laid out the ways in which he could identify which was which. I've been told that Markieff's hair is thicker and Marcus's face is rounder.
Okay.
Roger Sherman then says, on the other hand, I say those people are lying liars. They look the same. Stop pretending you're smarter than us.
Got him. Got him.
I'll link to this in our show notes. I'm going to send you a photo real quick, though, of the two of them with their shirts off so that you can see just how ridiculous these matching tattoos are. Or not the tattoos themselves, but like what a ridiculous extent they went to make sure that their tattoos match. And how much they look the same. Like there's no way if these guys were not side by side that the average person could tell them apart. Like maybe their parents or something, but
bro,
they're about as identical can get.
Hey, do you ever see the movie The Prestige?
A long time ago, yes.
Bro, this is some prestige shit. That's what they've done here, man. they've created their lives in such a way where they're like, we can be each other whenever we want to be each other.
On also in support of this, and that it did have a little bit of traction in 2017 during that game 2 where Markieff came back and had no signs of a sprained ankle. Bill Simmons tweeted, "Are we sure that's not Markieff Morris? Can we get a halftime DNA test?"
I mean, bro, well, first of all, wouldn't a DNA...
Which with identical twins wouldn't even do anything.
I was going to say, wouldn't a DNA test show identical DNA? You know, I was like, okay, so they have some matching tattoos. This is not like some matching tattoos, bro. This is like an intricate,
no,
like
it's
full chest and arm, like combo fucking thing.
Yes. They apparently have a couple that are different, but would not have been visible while wearing a jersey.
No, I mean, like just
like all their arm and shoulder stuff is identical.
Yeah, I mean, like, y'all, we're talking about like collage pieces that go across both pectorals, up into the collarbone, and down over the top of like their traps and biceps. Like, it's like full, like borderline full body sleeve style tattooing.
Yes.
And they're identical from literally. I mean, I'm literally going like, I'm doing one of those magazine things where it's like, is that the same as that? Is that the same as that with this right now? And like, I literally can't spot a difference in their tattoos right now.
Also, it's not like they were side by side, right? You're just watching one of them play basketball. So it would have to be blatant enough that you would be like, yeah, that one is obviously several inches taller, or like that dude is missing a full sleeve that the other one has or something. Like,
right.
Whatever minute differences there are, I don't think would have registered just watching one of them on TV or even in the arena.
Right. Also,
like maybe coaches and teammates and stuff like that. What would be more likely to me is like, are their voices different, or like, do they have pregame routines or like jokes with teammates and shit, or like ways that they call things out on defense where the teammates are gonna be like, bro, what? We did that yesterday. What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Inside knowledge, that
like,
would be very hard to pass on.
Yeah, or like long-standing relationships with your teammates, you know?
Right. Although...
Unless the teammates were in on it.
I was going to say, although if there was a understanding here of some sort that maybe just went kind of quietly understood and not addressed, then all of that stuff is irrelevant, you know? Oh, interesting.
That complicates it in a different way, though, of like, the more people that are in on this, the less likely it is to me.
Well,
there's so much at risk for like, like you risk blowing up the whole collective bargaining agreement for the league. And like, I'm sure tons of rules would be violated by someone under contract with one team playing for another team. Like, that's super messy.
Totally. But also like, define in on this. Like, if you're a team who's benefiting from the assumption that you don't really want to challenge,
you're saying you've got plausible deniability as a team.
You go like, Markieff.
We thought that was Markieff.
Markieff really is looking pretty good today, and I know him and his brother are really close, and I'm not really going to be the one to be like, hey, bro, snitch on yourself real quick. Are you your brother? Like, no, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, hey, bro, glad your ankle's great, and if you're acting a little weird on defense today, I'm probably not going to say a whole lot about it.
You're saying it's more of a look the other way situation.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like they probably didn't consult the team and bring everybody together and be like, all right, guys, don't be weird, but this is Markieff's brother, and we're going to hoop today. They are probably more like, Markieff's looking real sharp on the court today for how bad that ankle injury is. Which, by the way, just want to call out quickly, I did pull up the video of the ankle roll. And
pretty bad.
And as a person who has done a high ankle sprain and been on crutches for months after the fact, I'm gonna say
there's no way you're playing 2 days later.
What's that?
There's no way you're playing basketball 2 days later,
bro.
Especially without anything on it. He didn't have a wrap. He didn't have a brace of any kind. He had no limp.
Watch this. I just sent it to you. Watch this video. Watch what happened to this man's ankle.
So I watched the entire. That didn't look good. I watched most of game 2 after he hurt his ankle, That's way up there too. That's not like a lower ankle. That's like
that man put his
way up
entire
there.
body weight over the side of his ankle because he landed. So for y'all that are not able to watch this, he landed on his defender's foot and put his whole body weight over the side of his shoe. And he's like,
so your foot rolls like onto the outside of it, and all that weight gets displaced up your ankle instead of onto the bottom of your foot.
Which is what I did off a curb in slide sandals into like a pothole divot. And the next day, I was like, I'm going to tough it out for the night. The next day, I was in so much pain. I still thought there was a chance I was going to throw up. So I went to the doctor, like this was 18 hours after the fact. I went to the doctor and like literally like almost army crawled my way into the doctor because I could put no weight on my foot. I just don't see a way that a grown ass man who's even bigger than I am putting way more weight down over the side of that ankle is able to hoop like nothing 48 hours later. Like I don't know, man. I don't know.
There definitely is a range in terms of like how bad ankle sprains are and how long they take to heal.
No doubt.
But the low end of that range is not 2 days. It's like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, dude. I literally,
and I understand they have like the best medical attention available in the world, but like you don't come back from a bad ankle sprain in 2 days. And if you do, you look bad. It's going to be super swollen. You're going to be stiff. You're going to have some sort of protection on it.
You're not getting 6 boards. You're not jumping up to get a basketball off of that fucking ankle.
Anyway, back to our, I agree with you. Points and counterpoints. Point, in all caps, they have the same tattoos.
I mean, it's a fair point. We've discussed it, but it's a fair point.
Counterpoint, Markieff is taller. So this says in this Ringer article by I keep forgetting this dude's name, something Sherman, Roger Sherman. He claims that Markieff is 6'10" and Marcus is 6'9", which, first of all, there's no way you can tell an inch difference not comparing them side to side. Nope. Like that could be a difference of what shoes you wear. I was
just going to say that's a shoe. That's a shoe miscalculation.
Secondly, if you go to basketballreference.com, they list them both at 6'8".
So that could be a lot of times organizations to like make their roster look a certain type of way will list guys more favorably to fit into whatever like role or position they play them in. So if they're both listed at 6'8" biologically, but somebody plays more 4 than they play 3 or more 5 than they play 4, they're going to list you at 5 or they're going to list you at 6'10" instead of 6'9" or 6'8".
So I think that's fully within like the Jesus Christ margin of error for measuring.
Yes, 100%. Or fucking Markieff had fucking an inch or a half inch taller fucking outsoles on whatever he was wearing for fucking picture day.
Right. And then the last counterpoint is they have different playing styles. And I think this is, if you really want to try and get to the bottom of this is what you'd have to look at, is you'd have to get someone who actually understands basketball at the NBA level to say, like, would it be possible for someone not familiar with this team and their strategy and their schemes and stuff,
body language,
to do what that player, whether it's Markieff or Marcus, did that night.
Right.
So they do play slightly differently. In terms of like Markieff plays inside more. He's a better rebounder. Marcus is a slightly better shooter. His shot looks a little bit different. Marcus shot 4.5 threes per game, and Markieff only shot 2 per game in 2017. Most of that stuff, though, is what you're being asked to do in the context of a team. It's not that they're not capable of it necessarily.
I was just going to say, when you're an NBA caliber player, if you're just put in the situation where you're being told you need to do more or less of this, you're 100. It's not like you're like, oh, if you give me the ball,
sport.
yeah, if you give me the ball at 14 feet, I'm going to shit my pants and like not be able to make a shot. Like, no, like you're
Everybody in the NBA can shoot.
right. Exactly. Like obviously there are
You're one
varying
the best
degrees of that
250
spectrum, but
basketball players in the world.
right. So, I mean, like I agree conceptually. And it was like maybe my first objection that from like playing style or like knowing plays that you would be able to be, proficient at, I could see there being a definite like, a definite like style difference there. But again, if they knew roughly the systems and knew roughly where they needed to be in the system, particularly knowing how aggressively close they are, it's not like it would be like two different players from two different teams who are just homies that have to like jump in and be that. It's like guys that are.
You've got a 48-hour crash course, and here's what we do on defense.
Also that, right. Like if like, yo, I'm not going to be able to play this week. You got to like, you got to do something like, all right, cool. Let's watch footage on fucking YouTube for the next 48 hours.
The one thing that I think would be harder to fake, in addition to like learning playbooks and defensive schemes and shit, their shots don't look particularly similar. And it would be pretty hard in a high pressure NBA playoff game to try and emulate your brother's jump shot.
Yeah.
That to me, as like a casual, I don't understand X's and O's basketball stuff. That's maybe the most damning part of all of this is like, that's not something you could probably pick up in 2 days and then have stick in that high pressure of a situation.
So I definitely agree.
But these guys are fucking weirdos, and maybe they're really good at imitating each other.
There's that. I agree, but also I would say too, like, and I didn't watch the game, but like, how particularly for the Morris brothers, like how many of those 16 points were scored outside of, 4 feet? Like, I bet not a ton of them. And so that's probably a tougher, like you wouldn't have as much ability to tell the difference.
If it's only 3 or 4 jumpers or something.
Right. If you're talking about 3 jumpers, again, talking about margin of error, like not everyone's shot is identical every time they pull, particularly for a big man, right? Who's like,
I mean, they're pretty good shooters though. Like,
yeah,
especially now, like Markieff, I watched him play basketball earlier today, actually.
Right.
Like, he shoots a bunch of threes now. Granted, it's 3 years later and the NBA has changed quite a bit, but
I guess what I'm trying to say though is like, what level of analysis would you have to go through to try to prove that is not being affected by your defender or by your takeoff or by your landing or by your,
I don't
positioning?
Think you could prove it. I think it would be best to like, okay, yeah, that looks kind of weird, But
that's what I mean though, is like if there were, even if he had 3 weird jump shots, I'd be like, well, yeah, I shoot fucking 3 weird jump shots every fucking 90 seconds.
Professional basketball player.
No, but I'm just saying, like a lot of 4s and 5s in the NBA
consistent.
shoot a lot of weird fucking jump shots too. Like I don't know. I'm just saying it could be pretty easily dismissed as.
It wouldn't be conclusive for sure.
It would not. Yeah, it would not be a smoking gun.
I couldn't find the full games for either game, but the full highlights for both games are available on YouTube. It's game 1, Wizards versus Boston Celtics, April 30th, 2017, and then game 2, May 2nd, 2017. If you want to see, I think it's one of those highlights that has like every basket basically condensed down to 15 minutes.
Right.
So you could compare several Markieff Morris jumpers if you wanted to.
Okay, so
Yes.
Wait, are there any more points there? Does he have any more?
The final point
Yay or nay?
is actually the final 2 sentences of the article are, on the other hand, in all caps, they have the same tattoos.
Nah.
Why why would you get the same tattoos as somebody if not to commit basket fraud?
See,
That's how the article
this
ends.
is what I'm trying to say is like, it's a prestige thing, bro. They're like, hey, if we just make
So it's
ourselves
a long con?
identical, we can do identical things if we need to.
Anything is possible.
Right. So here,
I love it, man. It's one of my favorite dumb conspiracies I've ever come across.
it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I think, okay, I have a couple questions.
Yes. I also have one other example that I want to get to before we wrap things up. But go ahead.
This is game 2.
I've had 2 beers and we're in no rush.
That's
Yes.
true. We also, I don't know, man. We might have to keep it for the Patreon. Okay. This is game 2.
The injury happened in game 1. The suspect game is game 2. Yes.
And this is the Eastern Conference Finals,
Semifinals.
7-game series.
Yes.
How did he play for the rest of the series?
That's a great question.
Because
if we're hypothesizing that was indeed a bad ankle sprain, he probably wasn't back in 4 days either.
that's sort of what I'm getting at. Because
I don't know how to quickly find game by game stats for somebody.
yeah, can you Google?
Are you saying there might be more evidence to either support or not support this?
Yeah, like, is it possible that he had like a fucking banger of a game 2 days after this awful ankle sprain, but then for the rest of the Eastern Conference semifinals, he was like
Was trash.
4-2-1 for every single other game?
Oh, here we go. I actually found, God, Basketball Reference.
Has it all, bro. They never don't.
They're incredible. Playoff game log. Okay. Game 1 where he got injured. He played 11 minutes. He had 5 points, 3 rebounds. That was the game where he got hurt.
Yep.
Game 2, he played, this is laid out weird, 27 minutes. He had 16 points.
Bro, I'm sorry. I got to stop you for a second.
6 rebounds and 3 assists. Go ahead.
As a coach, if you got a player on your team who fucking high ankle sprained 48 hours later, are you playing him for 28 minutes of that game? In game 2, it's not even a decisive game, bro. Are you playing him for 28 minutes? I don't think you are.
They did lose game 1, so they're in a tough spot already, but
yeah, but still, like, it's game 2. And he hurt himself 48 hours later. Are you gonna play him for 3/4 of the game?
apparently.
I mean, I guess.
Or Ryan, to support your theory, game 3, which was now 5 days removed from the ankle sprain, he played just 18 minutes, had only 10 points, and 5 rebounds, 1 assist. So he had by far his worst game of the series, game 3, and played the fewest minutes other than the one in which he got hurt. And then his minutes ramped back up until game 7 through the rest of the series.
Bro. I like it.
That's a pretty good angle that I hadn't considered.
I like it because that means like you throw your brother in for 1, you give yourself a couple more days of rehab to get your shit together.
Ooh. That game was a blowout though. Washington won by 27. So some of that might have been that he just didn't play much in the second half because they were up by 20 plus.
Did Washington win this series?
They lost in 7 games.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do another thing now. I'm going to go another angle. I'm going to come at this from another side.
Sure.
When I sprained the fuck out of my ankle, the resources that were given to me were crutches and like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen.
Okay.
When you are a professional NBA player and you have pharmacists on deck, you can get cortisone shots. You can get like professional ass tape jobs that are hidden underneath socks.
Here's the crazy thing though. There's nothing visible on his ankle in game 2.
But he could have
just a sock.
But he could have a full.
It could be under the sock.
He could have a full wrap underneath the sock, and we would never know.
Tape, yes. If you're doing like a brace or a wrap or anything, that's not going under a sock.
No.
You're saying tape.
I mean a hard tape job, like a real hard tape job. You could do that for stabilization. So if you give this dude a cortisone shot and you give him a stabilization tape job and you give him a fucking like a benzo before the game starts. Well, maybe not before the game starts. Might be.
I don't know about that,
dude. Maybe that's why he was so fucking great, bro. That shot was wet. He was just like benzoed up and just fucking like just stroking it.
The best, one of the best games I ever had in rec league basketball. RIP.
Preach.
Was when I forgot we had a game and got real high at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we had like a 6 o'clock game. And all I did was stand in the corner, and whenever I touched the ball, shoot it, and I made like 12 threes that game.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see the homies win, you know, under I
probably gave up about 50 points personally on the other end.
Oh, my bad. That was my guy. Oh, shit. I think that was my guy. Oh, wait. Are we going that way? Oh, shit. No, we're going that way. That's my bad.
Yeah, actually, half of those threes might have been on the wrong basket. Who knows? Who can say?
Spencer. You know? This way. We're going here.
I made 100% of them, but 50% of them counted for the wrong team. My plus minus was 0.
That's why y'all got blown out, you know?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But like I think the point I'm making stands that we go, wow, that was a really bad ankle sprain. I would never be able to hoop on that 48 hours later. And I think a big part of like the doctor role in professional sports organizations is like, how can we get you on the floor tonight to do your job using any injection, like ice, pill, like medical thing we can possibly use in our toolkit to get your ass on the court?
Not to mention, we're looking at this through the lens of 2 out of shape guys in our mid 30s.
Yes.
Rather than the lens of like one of the most athletic 25-year-olds in the world.
Yes. Although, I mean,
there's that too.
I agree with you. I agree with you at a high level. Like, you are completely correct that we are all of those things. But also, like, a bad ankle sprain can fuck anybody up. And it's not like a...
Sure.
It's not like a pulled muscle where it's like, oh, like, it can be a very debilitating injury. Also, one of the things I looked up...
Can be.
What's that?
There's a wide range. It can be like a month or 2, or it can be like, man, that felt terrible, but if I just keep playing on it, I'll probably be okay.
So
like, this looked more towards the bad end, but you never know.
I'm going to send you a clip that I found while I was looking to find the actual injury itself, which is an interview with Markieff after game 1, where the press asked him about the injury, and he...
Can I just... Let me read the headline of this article.
Yes.
Markieff Morris says ankle sprain versus Celtics, the worst he's ever had.
See, that's what I'm saying.
What the fuck?
After that game, that was how he referred to the ankle injury that he had.
I'm fully on. That was Marcus.
Marcus played that game, bro. Marcus played that game. He rehabbed for 5, 6, 7 days, whatever it was.
He had 5 days off. Yeah.
5 days off.
And then he had a shit game in game 3.
Or, hey, bro,
maybe they put Marcus back in game 4.
I mean, right?
Just go every other.
If you got away with it in game 2 and nothing happened, what consequences do you have for giving it another shot? Also,
the doctors are just baffled every other day when a dude with a fully healthy ankle walks into the training room.
Right. You probably look at each other as bros and you're like, well, look, we got away with it 48 hours ago. You know it better now. You know the scheme's better. You know everything else better. You might as well fucking do it again.
If you play great in the playoffs, you're going to get a new contract. That's going into my bank account.
It helps all of us, bro. This is for the squad. We're doing this for the family. Some fucking
All right, Ryan.
some fucking mob shit. This for the family. Taking one for the team.
An hour and 15 minutes into this podcast, we have to make a quick pivot.
It's Marcus, dude. I'm just saying, Marcus played that game.
No, totally agree. We're in agreement, and we solved it. And he may have played game 4, honestly.
I'm about to go watch these games like right now.
Right? I want to. If you sign up for like League Pass or whatever, can you watch old games?
I don't know if they put the archives on there. It would be fucking dope if they did. That'd be so
if
smart.
it exists, we should throw some Patreon money at it just to like break down this whole series on the Patreon this week.
Dude, could we hire someone who's like a college analyst to do like 8 hours of footage analysis and like pay him $100 an hour with Patreon money to do footage
Get
analysis?
Carl on the phone.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. This actually might be a good idea.
Carl, who's your video guy?
Hey, Carl.
Got a job for him.
Big question for you,
All right.
my guy.
You're not busy, right?
Hey, bro.
Wolves didn't make the playoffs this year? All right, I got something for you.
Hey, man. So, quick question. In 2017, like, what? Are you asking me
You
a
weren't doing
question?
anything, right? You were watching the playoffs from home?
Are you asking me playoff questions about 4 years ago? Yes, big time.
Okay. So another point in support of this is that twins in sports have replaced each other before.
Let's go, bro. This is a movie waiting to happen, bro.
Jose Canseco
What?
has an identical twin named Ozzy.
No way.
I don't know when this was. It was after his baseball career. Jose Canseco, remember when he was doing that like celebrity boxing thing for a minute?
I do.
This was probably like maybe 8 to 10 years ago.
Bro, do not tell me he sent his brother to get beat the fuck up in his place. No, he did not, bro.
He sure did.
No, he did not.
Jose Canseco had a celebrity boxing match at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino somewhere in Florida.
Bro, this is the most baby food soft fucking...
Yeah, of course, it's Jose Canseco.
Hey,
that dude's a
fam.
disaster.
Hey, bro. Hey, you know I love you, right? So I'm going to need you to take a brutal ass kicking for me, and I'm going to pay you a couple $100,000.
So he's getting paid $10,000 for a celebrity boxing match.
Okay.
And half of it was up front, and then half was going to be after the fight or like at the event.
Sure.
So Jose gets the 5K up front and then sends Ozzy to the actual boxing match to fight and then collect the second half of the 10,000.
Bro, I can't. This is so soft. I cannot believe he did this.
So Ozzy shows up to the boxing match and they give him a check for $5,000 and he says, nah, you got to make that out to cash.
Awesome. Awesome. Bro, big grift energy. I love it.
Oh my goodness. So they figured out what was going on because first of all, he asked for the check to be made out to cash instead of Jose Canseco, and then took his shirt off and didn't have any tattoos.
And they're like, time out. Bro,
So clearly the Morris twins learned from Canseco's mistake, and they're like, we gotta have identical tattoos if we're gonna pull this shit off.
We gotta get tatted
Maybe
up.
they're planning for their career after basketball too, right? Like we can do twice as many appearances as Markieff Morris once we retire.
Right, because we can be everywhere at once. See,
we can be on 2 big 3 teams 10 years from now.
There's another big problem here, which is just that obviously, Jose and Ozzy are not close because Ozzy did not trust that check to go to his brother and then come back around to him.
They learned about the shared bank accounts too. They're learning from all of Jose's mistakes, bro.
He was like, hey fam, my brother's a dick and he's going to send me out here to get beat up and I'm going to bring him back a check with his name on it. He's going to cash it and I'm going to never get paid for getting my ass kicked. So make that shit out to cash right now. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Also, where are your tattoos?
Also, did you get laser tattoo removal in like the last 7 days?
So one more thing on this Jose and Ozzy thing. So that for sure happened.
Amazing.
And then
Unbelievable.
Jose also tried to sue the promoter for that extra $5,000. He wasn't happy.
Close enough, motherfucker.
I would have called it good getting $5,000 off of not boxing, but he wanted the full 10.
Fuck you, man. It's my DNA too. Fuck you.
Right. Run that DNA test. That was me. So in 1990, Jose and Ozzy was also a baseball player. They briefly played together on the Oakland A's.
Oh.
And somebody on Reddit has come up with one of my favorite Reddit posts of all time, hypothesizing that they didn't actually both play for the A's. That it was a scam so that Jose Canseco could hit twice in the lineup for the A's.
Oh, yes. I love this.
They played 9 games together in 1990. In the first game, Jose Canseco's playing right field and hitting third. Ozzy Canseco comes in to pinch hit in the 8th inning. So could have been Jose, right? He hasn't appeared in the field yet. They're not out there at the same time ever. You just get one extra at bat out of Jose. 2 days later, Jose's playing in right field again, batting third. Ozzy Canseco is playing DH.
Okay.
Meaning, for you non-baseball people, he only hits. He doesn't play in the field.
Right. So they're having him.
So in theory, Jose could go out there and hit third, and then 3 batters later, go out there again.
Because technically they don't need there to be 2 Cansecos on the field at the same time during defense.
Correct.
Huh.
2 days after,
I enjoy
the
this
next day.
very much, but I feel like it would be pretty obvious to be able to look across the baseball field at the dugout and be like, there ain't no Canseco over there.
But what do you mean?
As in, while the A's are on defense in the field.
No. Like, they were both there. Like, they for sure called Ozzy up. This theory is that whenever Ozzy was hitting, it was actually Jose.
Oh, I see. So when you saw
Ozzy was physically there.
So when you saw another Canseco
but Jose
on the
was
bench,
taking his at-bats.
Got it. When you saw another Canseco on the bench while Ozzy was up to bat, Ozzy was just chilling on the bench while Jose was just up there beating ass.
Yes.
Got it. Love it. Okay, I'm fully on board. This is fucking awesome, and I want this to be true so bad.
So then the next day, Jose Canseco is DHing, meaning he's not playing in the field.
Yup.
Ozzy Canseco comes in just to pinch hit in the 9th.
Sure.
So again, they never overlapped.
Right.
Next day, Jose's playing in the field. Ozzy's DHing. 2 days later, Jose's DHing. Ozzy is playing in right field. The next day, Jose's in right field. Ozzy comes in to pinch hit. So they still, through the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, they've never been in the field at the same time. And they've only played combined one position in the field.
Yes. The only thing that complicates this, though, is they would have to be subtly switching jerseys in between at-bats.
Yes.
Because even though they're Cansecos, they got numbers they got to change.
Right. But with most dugouts, like the dugout connects directly to the clubhouse. Or at least to a hallway that's not visible to cameras and fans and shit.
It's exactly how you Houston Astros fucking fans got away with fucking taking your buzzers off because Altuve ran to the locker room after the World Series.
Temporarily got away with it, yes.
Well, the buzzers have never been confirmed, only suggested.
Well, sure.
But also, fuck you guys.
If you had a camera on the dugout the whole time, you could, I guess, go back and be like, Were they weirdly just going back to a hallway together and then coming out later, or did they have extra jerseys somewhere?
But also,
I don't know if that footage exists though.
But yeah, I don't think it could even be conclusive though, because you got guys going in to take a piss or take a shit or go fucking blow their nose or like whatever all the time.
If it were like consistently 2 hitters before one of them was up or something, like you could probably draw some conclusions.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if like it would be hard to prove if that you just had players cycling through the bathroom nonstop and they just, and did it while everyone.
This is 30 years ago now. So
what year was this?
90.
And what year was the celebrity boxing thing?
I think that was like 2010 or 11.
Damn. So the Marcus brothers really did fucking, or the Morris brothers really did fucking learn.
Here's the thing. The Jose Canseco, let me find the actual date. This was, amazing. First of all, this Jose Canseco theory, or the Jose Canseco celebrity boxing article was written by Aaron Gleeman when he was briefly writing for NBC Sports.
Hey, shout out Gleeman.
we should really get him on to discuss this with us.
Bro, honestly, do you think he would?
We can try.
Let's go.
So this was the articles from March of 2011. And it says Saturday. Yeah, okay. So this was March of 2011 that the celebrity boxing thing happened.
Okay.
When did the Morris brothers enter the NBA? Because I think it was 2012. Or 13? They were drafted in 2011.
I was going to say 11. Yeah, that's literally what I was going to say. I think it was 11. Dude, that's fucking...
They would have been drafted... Dude, they would have been drafted in April of 2011. That's like 2 weeks later.
And they had their fucking first tattoo appointment the next week.
We solved it.
We fucking solved it, bud. Hey, sometimes we say we're no further along than we were when we started. Not today, motherfuckers. We solved this one.
Nope. We got everything figured out.
The Canseco twins made a bunch of extremely bold choices and some mistakes. The Morris brothers learned from those bold choices and mistakes and made some even more bold choices. And made $52 million in the process. And I love all of them for grifting all of us, because a good grift that doesn't hurt anybody is my favorite thing in the world.
Oh, man.
God bless.
That'll do it, bud.
That will do it. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/whatif for 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Shout out to Flying Machine Brewing Company for some delicious beers that are significantly better than Mountain Dew by a whole big wide margin. Carl,
are they trash?
Carl, you're the man. Your beers are the opposite of trash, and Mountain Dew is absolutely trash. And shout out to you all. We appreciate y'all. We thank you for listening. We thank you for being here. If you want to support the show, there's a couple ways you could do it. You can go to patreon.com/whatifpodcast and get an extra episode every single week, as well as access to a back catalog of over 100 episodes of the show you've never heard before for only $5 a month. That's patreon.com/whatifpodcast. On iTunes, if you want to leave a review, those reviews help us, and we've gotten some very nice ones lately for y'all binging during the quarantine. So we appreciate y'all for doing that. At shop.whatifpodcast.com, you can get shirts, posters, hoodies, coffee cups, fucking shout outs on the show. All that shit is available there for purchase at shop.whatifpodcast.com. And lastly, if you want to get in touch, it's 612-246-4614 or hi at whatifpodcast.com. If you want to send us a note or leave us a voicemail, you can do that in both of those situations, and we will listen to it, and we will read it, and we will love it, and we will laugh, and we appreciate y'all. And as always, we will see you next week.
That was fucked.
That was a bit fucked.